Oh, you booger. All of a sudden our blinkers work? Oh my gosh, look at that. Heat shrink is on, right? Yeah. Really dumb. Not that you're supposed to use that tool, but it worked. Oh, it's nasty. Sneak peek, disaster. So I wasn't paying attention close enough on this cam part. There we go. We got our music back. Alright, well, we're in the garage today. We work on some of the electrical on the Dodge. We got quite a bit of stuff going on with it. Tore into it a little bit last week, just kind of getting into trying to figure out some of the stuff. I have the wiring diagram for it at least, so we can kind of start tracing out stuff and seeing where things might be going wrong. The headlights do work. They're not burnt out. I tested them, hooked up voltage right straight to it. The relays themselves are actually clicking right now for the high beam and low beam, but we're going to start turning into that along with some other electrical stuff. The speakers are blown out. We're going to have to get new speakers for it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start tearing into this. What are you doing? Back to what I was doing here. Check, check. So we gotta take this cover off. With some regular screwdrivers. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere, Scout. Scout, what are you doing? We're not going anywhere. The other side. Oh, we got two more. Alright. Is you bummed? Because we're not going for a car ride. There we go. That's right. Our windshield wipers don't work. Now you're trapped. We did have some wiring issues. Some chewed wires that he said he repaired here. Let's bust these things out of here. There we go. Oh, yes. More pine needles. Pine needles for days. What are you doing? What are you jumping out of there for? Oh, you booger. No. You little egghead. Not a fan of this type of connector. So for these, just gonna strip the wire a little bit. Then you'll take this, put it in there, crimp. These torches, brand new, work really well. Almost a little too well. After you've had them for a while, they start to wear out. It's easier to do this without completely burning all your heat shrink tubing or everything else that's around it. Fix one wire, then burn the shit out of 5 others. Okay, brake lights still aren't working. All of a sudden our blinkers work? What the hell? Well, our blinkers work. Tail lights do work now. I just can't tell from here. This is a little excessive. No. Okay, brake lights are still not working. Oh my gosh, look at that. What did they do? What have you done? Goodness gracious. That is horrendous. I don't even know why. Oh my gosh. Are they even like connected to each other? Dude, if you do something like that, just throw out the connection and just directly wire it. That's dumb. So these are good for also if you want to do a connector, use these to bypass. Like that connector was ridiculous. There's no reason for that. If you've melted it and messed it up that much, have a handful of these guys on ready for you, like just sitting by, or just directly connect it, because that just causes problems down the line. Put these in my these are my small ones. I only have a few left. Damn it! I need to order some more of these connectors. Why is you looking bummed? Scout. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Oh, I'm never gonna get anything done around here. Hey, stop moving the truck. What are you doing? Oh, did you lose the ball? Heat shrink is on, right? Yeah. When the lighting relay turns on, that gets 12 volts. 12 volts goes down the license plate light and to that. So I wonder. Yep, there's the switch. I just saw flashing. Cool, brake lights work. So our brake light switch is bad. Okay. When the brakes are released, this rod is pushed back, which opens this circuit. But it's going to be pushing back on these contacts. So it's actually bad with this switch. This is, it's just corroded. So for corrosion guard, or corrosion block, this stuff, a little bit of that stuff in there. That will help prevent corrosion in the future. Should be able to. Cool. The brake lights work again, Scout. Excited. Brake lights now work, just barely tapping them. Beautiful. Brake lights work, Scout! The brake lights work! We got something fixed. Just moving the wires around here and seeing if anything stops working. And right now they're all working again. So it might be something down there, or it might be something over here, we don't know yet. Still no headlights. Alright. That part works. It's this grounding of the headlights that's confusing me. And how they do this. Okay, so after looking through all this and looking through the car, basically the power comes from the battery to... Let me get my story straight. You turn on the headlights, you hear the relay click. Well, not now because I've got a thing disconnected down there. Flip the headlights on, relay clicks, allows power to go to the headlights, and then from there it actually gets grounded through the steering column. Really dumb. We might be bypassing that system. But basically looking through all this, came down here, and then down underneath here, oh, it's all in focus, I hope it is. this connector, which is what connects up to your steering column switch, it's got a very big red and white wire. And guess what? The red wire is extremely burnt. If you can see that or not. And this side of the connector is fried. So I'm guessing those two might be part of the problem. So I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to jump that connector where it's bad at. Make sure you're jumping the right one if you're doing this. Also, if you're doing this, you should probably have a fuse on it to make sure that if something does go wrong, you don't just completely fry everything. That might ground the headlights to the point. We connect them in. Nope. Right now, we have the ground coming back from the headlights to that switch right there. And then from that switch, when you ground it, the headlights work. This switch, there's a switch apparently in the steering wheel that grounds, it's getting warm, that grounds this whole system. Simply bypassing it right there takes care of that problem. I don't know what this component is though. It's called a passing switch. The passing switch in there is what's bad. I've looked for this passing switch and I don't know what it is or what it looks like. And they go to ground. And it works. The ground for that passing switch is good because your horn, not your horn, like a washer switch goes off of it. And our washer switch doesn't work either. This is actually looking like it's too small. Alright, okay. Well, a little bit of leverage. That works for me. Not how you're supposed to use that tool, but it worked. Okay, so some more tinkering around. So the headlights, when you click them, they would come on, but then they wouldn't stay on. There's a switch right here that goes back and forth between headlights on, high beams on, high beams off, or that should be high beams on, high beams off. So that switch right here, yeah, turn on the headlights right there, is all burnt up. Got corrosion on it and whatnot. Yeah, here's that black wire that I want. This and this one. Okay. Which is also burnt up. Very interesting. So now, let's plug this one back into this. Yes. So that's the grounding wire. So we're continuing on. So this apparently works. Man, that is burnt to shit. Hey, we found it. This is our bad connector between this one and this one. I mean, the other one there is bad too, but this is the problem for right now. We need to put some LEDs in this, drop this current down, or just completely change the wiring. My goodness, that was a lot of work for a stupid plug to be burnt up. That is dumb, though. the fact that it's grounded through that, and there's so much amperage running through there, and it's just burning it up. And we have, wow, that was painful to watch. I never marked where the steering wheel was at. Son of a... Well, we'll have to drive and figure out where the center's at again. Well, I know it was something like that. Well, at least this one comes on and off easily enough. Let's bypass this connector. Right here. Snip. Completely bypassed and running up there. There we go. So this is 12 volts, but as soon as it hits a ground, this just simply grounds the headlights. So you're not actually getting a true 12 volts up to this, you're actually just getting ground. When this switch is open, actually no, that turns off the relay, so nothing's going. But once you turn on the relays and power's basically going, this hitting a ground simply turns the headlights on. So I'm not terribly concerned about making sure this doesn't touch ground because it doesn't really matter. It's a ground circuit anyway. But just out of habit, we'll put some electrical tape on there. I need to figure out, Scout, why do you always be in the weirdest places? Okay, so we got the cluster out. To get the cluster out, you gotta pull off these wires. There's a big connector right there, but the main thing that's really pulling it back was this one right here. So this one has got a little, I don't know, should call that a clip on there that holds it. You push on the back side of it, push down, and that lifts the locking clip, and then that just pulls right on out of there. Other ones just pull right off, no problem. I've already replaced a couple of these. Got some stuff in there. So I replaced this side. So I replaced this one and this one. These three are indicators. This one, that one is going to be for backlighting, and with this one and this one should also be backlighting as well. And these two are your blinkers. One of them wasn't working. It was the right side. So this one wasn't even working. It looks like it should work. So perhaps the contacts simply weren't touching. Where's my bag of LEDs? There they are. So the LEDs I'm replacing, these are just some like off of, I think, eBay long time ago. Fairly cheap. Probably could have paid a little more for some better ones, but they work. And these ones do not function both directions, so if you plug in and it doesn't work, you have to flip it around and try the other direction. Trial and error. Put this bad boy back in here, and we'll see if we can get some lights to come on here. It looks like the right one is right. It looks like this, the one on the left. It's like this one's backwards. Flip, and back in. There we go. Okay, I had it right. It just, bad connection. Okay, well now you can actually see it, and these don't really dim with the dimmer switch, unfortunately. Oh well, at least they're not that bright anyway, as far as like at night, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But at least they all work now. And just because I can, and I have a bunch of these little guys, I'm just going to go ahead and do the other one as well. Sweet. Alright, so I got this. Push that in there. I'm actually going to get this wet. And this one is not leaking. Sweet. So, This goes on here like so. Put the hose back on. Get that on there. Plug that in. Get our keys. Oh my. Wow. That's violent. Okay, so they put some screening on here to try and protect, I think, just from the needles getting in. But yeah, it's in the way of the sprayer jets. I mean, that one is okay. This one's completely right underneath that. But it is working. That just shoots. That one just shoots really all over the place. Why am I doing this? There we go. Now we're rolling. Okay. That's just screen for windows. Oh yeah. The gunk is real. That now alleviates part of that problem. I mean, I know like you don't want to get all the pine needles in there, but at the same time, holy crap. Look at all that goodness. So that is your clean out port for your air intake for the cab, in case you were wondering. For those of you that were here for the original video of getting this thing started, this was the connection that I was actually fixing back when we were trying to get it initially running. This had a bad connector, and apparently this connection right here, I believe, runs part of the ignition system or the computer, because I think it runs down underneath here or something like that. Because when you lose power here, the truck is completely flat. There's no power. So that right there, if you're having a problem with no start, good chance to look over here at these connectors here, see if you've got any problems. This connector was a 2-wire going into 1-wire. I do not know if that was original or if that was aftermarket. I just simply did a big connector right there, and that took care of that. Reservoir, radiator reservoir. I haven't even looked inside this thing. Oh, it's nasty. I mean, I expect nothing less, but the actual coolant, the guy might have recently done it. The coolant looks fresh. I mean, it's not like nasty looking like I was expecting. Ooh, I've never got to use this thing. I've got it in here somewhere. There it is. One of these. Sneak peek disaster. This is the little sneak peek here at the F250. This has got the 7.3 with the Bank Sidewinder turbo. We're doing the oil pan gasket and possibly injectors, who knows. This is a mess that I started a while ago, and it is still a work in progress. I was planning on pulling the motor, but due to many projects, we might be just trying to do the gasket real quick and slap it back together to get it running. Really has good interior. Cloth, oh my gosh, it's hot in here. I need to roll down. Cloth seats that are really, for the year and everything, are in an immaculate condition. It's got a few problems, but interior wise, I mean, look at that headliner, like two scratches in it. Interiorly, this is a nice truck. Some handlebars, and the biggest, most OP plate. That's like 1/2-inch steel plate that they bolted on here for a fifth wheel attachment. That plate is huge. Way overkill, but whatever. But that is a project for the future. Oh my goodness. Get the bubbles off of it, maybe. It's still, I mean, it's above. I think he poured, or somebody put mostly, but we're looking at a very high concentration of antifreeze. You want it right around, what was it, 265, which is 50%. So actually, we're not terribly, we are just a little bit high. I would want to have this thing running as well. Run it for a little bit, get all the coolant fresh through the system. Nothing's like, I don't know how much distilled in the water settles or whatnot, but it is a wee bit high from what I think this thing is supposed to measure. I don't know, have you guys ever used one of these? Recommendations, comments? Please let me know what I'm doing wrong. That's a bug. Okay, well, welcome to the Coolant life. I don't know how accurate that is. I've had that thing for many years. Maybe it has an expiration date on it. I mean, a little bit more coolant's better than less, right, Scout? Alright, got that back on there. I don't know, sidetrack. I need more coffee. We got speakers. We're doing that next. Now, oh yeah. Alright, so we got some, went to the stereo store down the street. Oh, I hate this packaging material. The sound of this shit. Ah! Okay. La, da, da, da. Da, 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 da. I hate that sound. Sorry, the sound of that the styrofoam is absolutely drives me bonkers. These are actually a little bit cooler than these, but these holes aren't going to line up with the old holes. Yeah, that's going to look super awkward. So we're just replacing it with the original. I don't own a regular set of pliers. Everything is special. Just like me. Positive and negative. Hey, there we go. We are transmitting on our transmitter dealio for the radio. There we go. We got our music back. Woo! Cool, so it's this switch is bad. See if we can fix another switch. Oh yeah. I just saw, oh man. Oh damn. Oh, where did that ball just come from? Nuts. I did not see a ball in there. That must have come from the back side. That ball. Dang, this thing's a little pain in the butt to put back together. Y'all need to stop falling apart. Okay, well that ball can go down there. As long as this goes on top of the ball, we're fine. Okay. Trial and error. So I wasn't paying attention close enough on this cam part. Kind of just fell apart. There we go. Trying to keep it all together. Low, medium, high. We fixed the thing. Now if I can remember what we did like 2 weeks ago. Hey, it even matches up. That's surprising. Okay. That's all back in there. Alright, well, that's going to about wrap it up for today. Well, a couple of weeks worth of work. But we got most of the electrical stuff I wanted to get done. The headlights and everything like that work now. I cleaned up all that. The windshield wiper washers work. We'll replace the wipers and a few other things. Yes, Scout? No, we're not going for a drive. Maybe tomorrow after church. Yeah. But hopefully we can get this at least running decently, get it outside, because I like to, before it starts raining here, get the tractor parked in here so we can actually really start getting into it. But for the most part, this thing is back together and running, and it'll run for now until we get some more stuff cleaned up. It's still burning a little bit rich, but we got what I wanted to get done with this done. Like I said, the rest of this is kind of cosmetics and stuff that I'd like to get done, but doesn't really need to be done in order to have this thing running on the road. So for the most part, this project is kind of done until I really start tackling the rust, doing body work and doing the paint job. That's probably not going to be for some time, as I'm trying to get this moved out of the garage and then move my tractor into the garage. The little Kubota tractor, if any of you have seen the video of it, basically just a showing of it. We're going to start tackling that, getting the PTO pump mounted up on it and all the hydraulics, and find out whether or not we need to do a rebuild on the hydraulic pump. I don't know yet, but that's going to be one of my next big projects. As far as truck stuff go, my service truck's got a power steering pump, got to replace that. That's going to be fun to do. I got all the parts here today for it, but time will tell when I actually get around to getting it replaced. But thank you all for stopping by. If you got any questions, comments, or anything like that, just leave them down below. But that's going to wrap it up for now. This has been Mechanical Mystery. Stay safe and take care. I'll see you in the next video.